Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pickdawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 4 college basketball games for Monday, December 1st, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily college basketball Bank Shop best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday in college hoops. First up, we've got an afternoon game between South Carolina State and Chicago State. This one is 12 p.m. Eastern. Now, obviously not the greatest game in the world, but we'll take any kind of weekday afternoon action in college hoops. And we mentioned South Carolina State a few times in the breakdown. I've talked about how I think they are a bottom 5 team in Division I this season. From a shot quality standpoint, they've really struggled on both ends of the court, taking a lot of low percentage shots offensively, giving up a lot of easy looks on the defensive side. Fundamentally, they turn the ball over a ton. They're one of the weakest defensive rebounding teams in the country. And the big concern for me is their two-point defense, ranked 356th in Division I. They give up a lot of points via two-point field goals. Chicago State scores a lot of its points via two-point field goals, 58.2%, 17th most in the country in terms of their dependence on those two-point shots. And, it may not be the best Chicago State team, obviously 0-8 on the season, but they've played a very tough schedule. They're battle-tested, the 26th toughest schedule in Division I. This is actually a decent team, at least a better team than what we're used to from Chicago State. We've got basically, some of the better players from the SWAC that made it over to Chicago State in the offseason. They are dealing with some injuries, but they're also a really deep team. In terms of bench minutes, they're 61st and most in the country. So they're going to be a team that plays not just the starting 5. You're going to see probably 10 plus players in this game alone, and sometimes 15 plus players. So I think Chicago State's got enough here to win this game and win it by margin. I think they're the much better team, despite both of these teams. If somebody's O has got to go, 0-8 against 0-8, I think Chicago State picks up their first win and cover. Give me Chicago State. Next up, we've got Tarleton and Cincinnati. This one is 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Now, year number 5 for Wes Miller, not starting off great for Cincinnati. They just lost one of their worst upset losses in a while against Eastern Michigan. Not only the loss itself, not a great one, but the fact they scored just 56 points in a home game, losing that game by 8 points. Cincinnati offensively is really struggling. Their defense, you could say, is elite. It's top 10 in adjusted defensive efficiency, but the offense is ranked 213th in efficiency, and they're not a great shooting team. They're turning the ball over left and right. So Cincinnati's got some major problems on the offensive side, but I actually view this game as kind of a breakout. I think we could see the Bearcats break out offensively in this matchup, and because of that recent performance, scoring just 56 points, and their numbers on paper, the team total right now for Cincinnati, we can imagine, is going to be set pretty low. We'll wait for the official number to come out. Right now, KenPom has this game as a final score projection of 79-64. So I would expect Cincinnati's team total to be in that high 70s, low 80s range. And I think Cincinnati scores in the high 80s, low 90s in this one, like we saw LSU, Baylor, and SMU do in the step-up games for Tarleton in those matchups. Now, all those teams have better offenses than Cincinnati right now for sure, but it's really the style of play in those matchups and the pace of play that I think bodes well for this Cincinnati offense to break out. Tarleton's a very aggressive team. They force a lot of turnovers, which they should in this matchup, as Cincinnati has struggled turning the ball over, but they also, as a side effect, take a lot of fouls. Cincinnati does a great job of getting to the free throw line. Now, they're not the best free throw shooting team right now, but I think they'll get a lot of opportunities at the charity stripe, and I think I would expect 20, maybe even 30 plus free throw attempts for Cincinnati in this game. That's a lot of points scored right there. I think also the fact that Tarleton right now is one of the weakest defensive rebounding teams in the country. Cincinnati should get some good second chance opportunities in this one. I think Cincinnati's offense will be able to shoot the basketball a little bit better, improve those numbers. Right now ranked 78th in three-point shooting. I think that Tarleton's defense, it's not a bad defensive team for what they look to do, but they're so aggressive, so the pace of play, Cincinnati's already a fast offense, 19th ranked in average possession length, and Tarleton is 11th ranked in average possession length defensively. So I think we see a lot of possessions, pretty sloppy basketball, a lot of turnovers, but a lot of free throws, a lot of fouls, and I think that bodes well for Cincinnati's offense in the end. I lean towards a full game over between both of these teams as well, but give me Cincinnati's team total over in this one. Next up, we've got UAB and Middle Tennessee. This one is 7:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Now, I don't view either of these teams as big-time contenders in their respective conferences this year. Honestly, I think both of these teams are kind of going through rebuilds as programs, but I will say I've been impressed with UAB as of late. This was a team I didn't have a lot of expectations for going into the year. We faded them with Alabama State plus the points in that game on November 11th and didn't expect an outright win, but Alabama State won that game 77-74, one of the worst losses that UAB has taken in a long time. But since that loss, UAB's now picked up 5 straight wins, including some really good mid-major victories over teams like High Point, South Alabama, and Southern Illinois. And UAB's impressed me as of late. They're a great rebounding team, one of the best in the country. They do a great job of taking care of the ball. They're taking better shots. This team was looking to take way too many threes earlier in the year. They're just not a great perimeter shooting team. Nowadays, modern basketball, the 2 best shots you can take are a 3-point jumper and a shot, right at the rim, a layup or dunk. But UAB is not a good 3-point shooting team, so we've seen them really rely on those 2-point field goals a lot more. They're also doing a good job of getting to the free throw line. And, this is a good matchup here. Middle Tennessee is taking a lot of fouls defensively. Middle Tennessee, I think, will lose both the turnover and rebounding battles in this matchup. UAB's playing with revenge. They lost to Middle Tennessee, a pretty surprising loss last year at home. And Middle Tennessee's not in great form. They've lost their last 2 games by double digits. They were tough matchups, George Washington and McNeese. But I don't love the current form from Middle Tennessee. I think that UAB's playing the much better basketball, playing with revenge. I'm going to roll with UAB in this one. And the final game we're to talk about for the Monday card in college basketball, it's Bowling Green and Kansas State. This one is 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. I think Bowling Green is a really dangerous team in the MAC this season. I think defensively, one of the best mid-major defenses in the country. They are aggressive, they force a lot of tough shots, and they force a lot of turnovers. The 4th most in the nation right now. They're forcing a turnover over 25% of their opposition's possessions, and that bodes really well for Bowling Green in this particular matchup. Kansas State, they're turning the ball over about 19% of the time, 250th in turnover percentage offensively. So, K-State's definitely played a much tougher schedule, including their last, 5 games, Cal, Tulsa, Mississippi State, Nebraska, and Indiana. That's a gauntlet of a schedule that you don't usually see, teams like Kansas State play all the time. But nonetheless, those turnover problems they're real, and I think that Bowling Green, their best offense in this game will be their defense, leading to those fast break opportunities. Also, Bowling Green, a great defensive rebounding team, which again bodes well for against the K-State team. It's been a pretty good rebounding team, but I don't think they're going to be able to get a lot of second chance looks in this game. I think this is going to be a pretty competitive matchup. This is just way too many points in my opinion for a team. They say defense travels. I like a road dog that can play well defensively, and that's exactly what you see here in Bowling Green. I'm going to take the points here with Bowling Green. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at Pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.